Okay guys, so if you're here at the moment, we're going to be talking about ethical approaches to research. So we'll get started in just 1 second. So today we're going to be talking about how you use ethics in your research project. And the idea is that ethics is not just something you tack on to the end and not something you just put into your reflections to say that you did, although it's very tempting to do that. Ethics is really something that's going to shape the entire tone of your project, and it's something you need to take into account from the very moment that you start refining your project. One of the things that I think it's really important is that you understand what ethics actually are. Okay. So have a think about some of these situations that are up on the screen. Would it be problematic in any way for you to ask a small child about their personal circumstances? Would it possibly be a problem if you found some old materials in your attic and you started to use them, knowing full well they were personal letters between your grandparents? Maybe you have decided that you want to do a survey about your favourite toothpaste, and because it's your favourite, you want everyone else to know it's your favourite, and therefore you're only going to ask the people who also agree it's your favourite. Okay. So it's really important when you're thinking about designing all of your processes and all of your questions that you are being ethical in how you do that. So ethical basically means that you're being honest, respectful, and you're putting at the forefront the rights and responsibilities that all researchers have. And this is something that all researchers, whether it be you guys doing the research project or people running scientific experiments or people running psychological studies, everyone is bound by a code of ethics. Basically, if you wanted to sum it up, it's about respect and making sure that the things that you do in no way harm, injure, or potentially influence those people who are involved in your research. So if I were you guys, I'd get my phone out and I'd take a photo of what's on the board behind me. That guy's got it. Good job. Okay. Ethics is about showing respect to others. It's about respecting privacy and confidentiality. And one of the things that you can do to make sure that you're being ethical is to make sure that you provide the appropriate permissions and that at every point in your project, the people who are actually participating are fully aware of what it is that you're trying to achieve. So my advice to you, in order to be ethical researchers, please make sure that you design your entire research process in a way that is going to maximise the benefits to the participants. So if you're going to ask people about mental health, it's a really good chance for you to offer some support to them so that if you bring up anything that could potentially be harmful to them, they have a way to actually deal with that afterwards. It's also about respecting the rights of the individual and making sure that you are offering them the anonymity or the confidentiality that they require, particularly if you're doing something where a person is in a high-profile position or potentially could have their name associated in a way that they might not want it to be. So I guess my advice to really keep this short, sharp and shiny is think about ethics from the very outset of your project. Make sure that your question doesn't promote any unethical behaviours. Make sure that your research from the very first moment that you begin thinking about it is all about making sure that you can benefit those who are involved, including yourselves. Okay? And just remember that it is a really important responsibility for all researchers to be able to look after the ethics of the participants. Yep. Would you guys like to ask any questions? Anyone brave enough? Yeah. No, you good? Cool. All right, I think we're good. Well, thank you for listening. Hopefully you guys can be ethical researchers from here on in.